Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Town of DeWitt, May 6th, Tuesday morning planning board work session. I think first up, we have up first.
75 corporate circle.
Scrolling. So who's here first? 75 corporate circle.
Hi.
Good morning, Rob Seeley and Joanne and Emily from EDR, the owner Don DeStefano. Who else is on? Lucas.
Phil Sabara, the architect.
Yep, Phil Sabara's on.
Okay,
Lucas and Brad, they're the construction managers.
Lucas, oh, there he is. Yep.
I'm on here.
You made it.
Do you want to talk to us about the updates to the plan since we saw you last?
Yeah, the main thing has been the building has been progressed, and those were submitted, the new elevations. And then the building A, the configuration changed a little bit, the footprint and the parking around it, so that's been updated. And all the storm water's been done, the SWIP's been done. We met with Mark on Friday and went through his comments, so we're addressing those now. He asked for a few detailed modifications. I think the only other change is the driveway on the west side, on the left. We were able to get permission from the FAA and the airport to extend that straight out through the runway protection zone. So that improved our truck circulation. In the previous plan, we were going up to the north, kind of paralleling that diagonal runway protection zone line. So that greatly improved our truck movements in the back there. And I missed Don. I think those were the main changes. Or Don?
No, I think it covered it.
Okay.
So we got truck movement, the airport thing is covered.
Yeah, can you talk to us about truck movements? I think
Yeah.
we had asked for that last time and have gone through it.
Yeah, there's a sheet in there that shows the movements. I don't know what sheet number it is.
25, maybe?
Yeah, it's towards the back.
See the offset from runway 33? Curiosity.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you know what the offset was from runway 33 for you guys on that diagram?
Yeah, 25.
I'm a pilot, I fly into 33 all the time, so I'm trying to remember where the offset is.
I'm not sure. Joanne, do you know that? That diagonal line is
I
the
don't-
runway protection zone.
Where it is that the diagonal line right there? Interesting.
On the left.
Yeah,
yep.
that's just the runway protection zone. I don't know
Yeah,
the
I don't know.
dimension.
I don't know what runway it is.
I can just eyeball it from there. It's just a curious question for me.
Yeah, there you go. So that shows getting in and out from each building and getting out to the driveways.
Gotcha.
A couple of comments I had about the planting plans. It looks like from the previous approval, 31 corporate circle, you had some honey locust and Freeman maple. I think on the planting, the ID key for this 75, the two buildings here, there are still some that are marked AF and GT, but in the key, in the list of plants, they are not on this proposal. So I don't know if that's a carryover from the previous one, or if you are proposing those trees for this site as well.
Emily, you could jump in, but I think it's a carryover because we did show 31 on here on C404. And the reason for that is that that site was approved previously, but we did make some modifications on the east end with the stormwater because all three buildings have a shared stormwater facility now. So we just wanted to show all the plantings for that lot as well, but that's where those plants are.
And then, so the landscape buffer area, the north yard, I see there's that kind of the pinch point in the northwest corner. We have required variances for that for other sites. For the landscape buffer. So I don't know if you can rework that edge of the parking so that pinch point is not there, or. You may need to go for a variance.
You're talking about at the corner of the parking lot where the little hammerhead turnaround is,
Yeah, I believe that's where.
so
where
from
it's-
there to the property line.
Yeah,
Okay. What do we need, 10, is it 10 feet we need? By code?
20 in
20
the
per
front.
front yard.
Oh, front, kind of on the side. It's kind of rounding the
This is a
corner.
funny, yeah.
It's a funny lot, yeah.
So it's 10 on sides, I think you're at a little over 5 foot, so. I think either way, that would need to come down a bit.
Okay, we'll take a look at that. See if we can shift things.
Yeah, it would just be a matter of finding parking in other locations if we need it to meet the code.
Yeah, cause I think you're right at meeting the parking,
Mhm.
or maybe you have like a couple extra.
Yeah, there's only a few extra.
The monument sign, I know we're probably not getting into signs yet, but I saw it on there. Basically, it's I think it was parallel to the road, it needs to be perpendicular. Can't remember which seat I saw it on.
If I can see it.
But I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. Yeah, right there. There's a- That's what I thought it was too, but I don't, it looks like it's in the
That's a
right way.
stop bar.
Let's stop bar. I was gonna say, I don't think we have a sign.
Yeah,
I think 31, I think, had a sign out in that landscape zone, but
Basically, it should be perpendicular to the road, so I think the location was fine, just the orientation of it.
just check it.
The one at 31 isn't a monument sign, that's a. I think it's a wayfinding sign.
yeah, it was like an address,
Okay.
just
Yeah,
like
I didn't see a rendering of it, I just saw like sign to match campus signage. So that's what it could have been. Are you proposing any monument signs?
not at this time.
No, not in the new development. Correct, Don, is that still your thoughts, is you don't want a sign at this time?
Yeah, not at this time. I think the tenant count on the buildings will be low, so I don't think there needs to be a directory type of signs that we've had in previous buildings.
Are you proposing directional signage?
Not yet, I don't think. I don't think we've gotten that.
We don't have any
far.
shown, no. I think he's gotta see kind of how his tenants shake out, and then we would come back in if we needed signage.
One more thing about the trees. The Amur maple. I think they're finding that has potential to be invasive, so we're discouraging those.
Okay,
That was the main stuff I had for the site. I don't know if you guys want to talk architecture at all. We did get renderings, elevations.
All right, it's Mark here. The lighting plan, you submitted, there was a resubmittal on it, but are we approving the what is it, 31 Corporate Circle as part of this site plan?
So
I know-
it did have a previous approval. But I think there is some changes to the retaining wall, like was mentioned for the stormwater drainage.
Right, we took the retaining wall off the back and now that stormwater sheet flows into the stormwater area on the adjacent site.
Yeah,
So like, oh, go ahead.
yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I mean, it's included in the plan set, each year for, each year set of plans includes it. I guess, but the lighting plan doesn't include that site. So I guess I'm just asking, you know, are we considering this approval to include that lot, or is that separate? I mean, it seems to me it's all one thing now, but
Yeah, I agree, Mark, because all the stormwater is combined, so we would have to go back to the original photometrics then. And you want to see them put in the set for that.
yeah, I
31
think
site,
that's,
right?
I think that would be the cleanest way to do it, Joanne. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, we
So
can do that.
let's put this on the agenda as but when it comes up, as this and the amendment to 31.
Yeah, that's all I had. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. Mark, you'll let us know when you're good with drainage stuff.
Yeah, as Rob said, we met last week to review it. I do have some comments to send to them, but I wanted to hold off until after this meeting to send them out, so I'll get them out later today.
Can you send those to us too for our records?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah. So, skip that.
Wonderful, elevations.
See something big leak revival.
Maybe.
You want, hey Joanne, we'd like to see, yeah, Joanne, we'd like to see something like Greek revival, I just told like.
well, let's see what the architect has to say.
Maybe.
We got stuck in here.
Yeah.
We can't do this.
It does not want to let go. It's seriously enjoying this. There we go. Okay, escape didn't want to work, but we can get here.
We're going to be updating the system in this room, so hopefully some of our technical issues.
One screen just for the Zoom.
Absolutely. Multi-monitor, it's like, they can't survive on one end.
Loading A.
What are we zoned here?
Industrial.
What's the rider for wire for the ISP here for the town? It's Verizon, is it Fios, is it Spectrum? Spectrum? Geez, all this Verizon tower stuff, I think we should negotiate a deal. It's part of the school district that we get high-speed Fios here.
Our Verizon coverage here sucks. Like, I drop calls every day.
Oh, yeah,
This one's A.
I don't have any comments on architecture, so.
Yeah, it's industrial, it's, but red and white could be the buildings on the airport. Yeah, it's consistent with everything out there, yeah. Yeah, I guess I have no issue for what it is. They're all disrespectful. Yep.
Jenny, do you have any comments?
No, not at this time.
It's this.
Sorry, it took me a minute.
We don't have any screening regulation, industrial, we don't have screens for stuff on the, is it stuff, equipment on the roof I'm seeing, the little black blobs?
Yes, that's rooftop equipment.
Okay, we don't have any screening issues with these guys here. So,
That's architectural design.
yeah.
As it should be, let me know.
I know there's height restrictions on the buildings.
Right, right.
But like another screen on top.
There's another, those are, I think are they air handlers up there?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Are those air handlers up there?
Yes.
AC units? Yeah. Meter box, what themselves. Yeah, I have no issue out there. It looks like every airport, yeah, sort of like warehouse thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of a warehouse.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's.
Yeah, it's all
A,
main doors and a
C.
couple and overhead doors down the backside, yeah, for the truck bays there, yeah.
I mean, the intent was to keep it as simple and flexible as possible without knowing, you know, the interior design at this point.
Yep. Yeah, I had no issue with this, I just think it's appropriate for there. It's never what I would do.
Yeah, so you're not doing a subdivision, that's correct? No subdivision?
Correct.
It's already
It's already
subdivided.
subdivided, yeah.
Is it already
Well,
subdivided?
31's on a separate lot,
Yep.
75 has the two buildings on the one lot, the stormwater's on the third lot.
Can I see that?
And they're all using.
So you can get some kind of,
So is there cross easements? Do they need a document that if it's not one lot, it's something, there's three separate parcels using one stormwater, do they need
Yeah.
a cross easement kind of gig?
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll need an easement done before we can, or have language on there before when you do the next set of plans.
For the stormwater,
Yeah,
Yeah,
any that's shared,
And access.
And-
access,
yeah, and are you sharing
Cross access.
parking? Too?
so
Well, A and B are on the same lot, so I don't know that you need shared access for.
that's the 31.
yeah, so the top two squares are basically one lot, and then the bottom two are basically separate.
You got it.
You're not really accessing buildings A and B through 31, are you?
No, those lots are completely separated.
So just drainage.
It's just drainage, just across the drainage easement then.
Correct.
That's all I have, the notes about the trees, the landscape buffer. I guess we're not addressing the signage at this time, so
Yeah.
Parking we're good with.
the parking was fine.
Getting the easement done and, addressing any of Mark's comments.
The lighting for the
Lighting.
31.
Combined. Great,
And then so the next, if you could get it to us by the 22nd, you could make it onto the June 12th meeting.
Okay.
does this need to go to the county?
It did not need to because of the location.
Okay.
With
That's
it,
all
with
I
it
have.
being next to the airport, wouldn't that, isn't that city property? Wouldn't that,
Already.
But I think it's state or county. I don't think it's city or county.
It's authority property, right? Joanne,
No,
it's authority
no,
property.
no, it's city-owned property.
Mm,
The authority manages it, but it's city-owned.
And
I'll look at it again. I did look into it and I thought it didn't, but I could be.
Because it's a contingent to the city.
the airport has reviewed
The
this and
boundary
they're
of
good
any
with it.
the boundary of any existing or proposed county or state-owned land containing a public building or institution. So city-owned would not.
Won't trigger it then, yeah.
okay, so how many tax parcels are there? Or how many parcels are there here?
3, I believe.
3, okay. All right, so the one with the drainage essentially is just gonna become an easement to the benefit of the other 2 parcels.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay,
And there is access, right? Well, yeah, it's actually all fits now. Yeah, the access. There will be no access easement because they all have their own.
What's on top of the drainage? It's just grass?
it's a bioretention
Yes.
area. So they've got a section where they have bioretention on top of the underground storage. They've set it up so there's 6 inches of ponding, which was allowable by the airport, right, Rob? Am I
Yeah,
speaking correctly?
yeah.
So it'll be, bioretention type plantings essentially.
How do we initiate the stormwater easement? Is that done by Jamie or do we need to do that or not? What's the next steps on that?
What's the question?
Don,
is
yeah,
yours?
Don would have his attorney write that up for
Right.
Jamie's review, right? So he could send
Correct.
that to you earlier. Just to make sure it's in the vein that you want it.
Okay.
Probably just a modification of the one we did previously for 31 corporate, because that was
Sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
kind of thing.
that'd be easier that way.
Yeah.
Frameworks there. All right, I think that's it.
Yep.
I think we're good.
All right.
Awesome.
Awesome,
Great.
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
day, everybody.
Thank
You
you.
So,
You as
well.
Anything else on the list?
Sunoco's up next.
anyone here from Sunoco?
I'm here.
Hi, Bill.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Okay.
So why don't we, can you give us an update as to what your current thinking is and plans are now? I understand they're changing a bit.
Yeah, basically, it's a scheduling situation that the tank subcontractor supplier will not order the tanks until there's an existing building permit in place. But then there's a 6-month delivery date. So part of the thinking, the owner's thinking was to split the building back into the 2 tenant situation and work on the interior renovations of the franchise part of it. And try and get that part of it open and work on the exterior of the building so that by the time the tanks get there, we will have gone into the gasoline mini mart side of the building and finished that interior. So it's kind of a change in how he figured he wanted to operate the building rather than operating it as a single tenant in the whole building, that it would run as 2 tenants.
So my quick take on this is we're a proponent of moving the tanks and moving the islands around to the side. Additional pumps is fine. But it's gonna require a rework of the whole site plan.
Circulation, parking.
Everything and feedback review. We don't wanna piecemeal this, we wanna see it all at once, but after what you just said, I understand there is a conundrum of you can't order the tank unless there's a building permit. I've never heard that one before, but that's not to say that's how they do business. So we have to think about how we figure this out, but I certainly don't wanna try and, occupy and to tear the whole site apart, so.
If you move the canopy to the side, would the tanks need to move
Right.
also, or would they go in the same place?
So how can we,
Well, at this point, the discussion has been that the tanks would go in the back parking lot area, that they'd move around to the back of the building, and just simply there would be parking spaces on top of where the tanks are, or would be in the driveway. I'm not sure, that we haven't talked to the tank people yet. But okay, I mean, that's simple enough. We'll concentrate on what the final site plan modification would be.
Yeah, I mean, is there a reason that the final site plan with the exterior changes can't be made while this tank discussion is, while that's happening, or are you just trying to expedite it? Is that the whole reason for breaking it up?
Well, it was trying to move the what he's looking for is to be able to actually have the food side, the tenant 1 side, open and functioning while we're waiting for the tanks to arrive and be installed. So it was a question of cash flow and business sequence.
So I just want, to understand, is there a new site plan?
I haven't revised the site plan, no.
But it is proposed to be a new site plan.
Yeah, the tanks will be in a different location.
But just the underground tanks, but not the servicing, like
Where you
the
get
pumps.
the pumps.
We have had discussions about increasing the pumps and moving them, but I haven't really found that, there's any way to increase and put more pumps either on the side or in the front. I suppose that I guess I would like to know what the town's position would be on that, whether they're opposed to, in favor of, or neutral about increasing the number of pumps on the site.
I think, and I will pull this out of memory right now, but we like the idea of, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, the idea of moving the canopies in the pump locations out of the front to the side.
To the side and then
Okay.
and having parking up in front.
Parking
of
up
the
in
building.
front, better landscaping, better presentation to the street, remove, and if that
Okay.
is something we'd be very much a proponent of, because it improves the circulation in and out, or
Right.
versus everybody right in front of the storefront doors for your tenants there.
But that
So,
changes your whole site plan.
That changes
your
site plan.
circulation, your parking, everything, so
and reassess.
we're
clear
hesitant
lines.
to issue a building permit for this, and then you've only got 6 months to pull the permit. Are you gonna get a building permit for your old site plan and then come in and wanna completely
Mhm.
redo it?
Okay.
I mean, we'd love to do it all at once, just,
We need to do it all.
yeah, I mean, just to see how the site works.
Okay, good. I will work on that, and I guess that's the next revision you're looking for is a revised site plan.
Yep, and if
Yes,
there's an issue with ordering tanks to do this, needing a permit, I guess the answer is, can we develop a way to issue a permit for the tanks?
right, and if they do a building permit for the site, and then you probably need another permit to dig up and put the tanks in.
Yes,
I
that's
think
a-
that in order to order the tanks, you would still need to have a site plan to have a layout for the tanks and know the depth and everything. So I don't think I don't think he's saying he won't get us a site plan.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I just understand the desire to expedite from a business perspective, so I think the answer forward is get a revised site plan in with showing tank locations and see, it's where we wanna go, and let's see if we can push this forward that way. It's improvement all around.
So would you clarify for me, the tanks themselves are going to need both a DEC building permit and a town building permit?
Yes, I
Yeah,
believe
I
so,
would
because
see- I
you're
would assume so.
digging.
Yeah.
Okay,
We were calling the DEC and figuring out,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
but I
they didn't
think
really have anything that we needed, it was kind of up to us.
we settled on a building. permit. Pretty sure we settled on saying we would need a building permit, because I mean, they'd be digging up the whole site.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
building permit.
Yeah. Because it was interior and exterior.
And Bill, when you get us new site plans, can you make them full size, please? At least.
what do you
18 by
mean full
24.
size?
18 by 24.
Minimum of 18 by
Yeah, 18 by
24.
24 minimum.
And honestly, if you could
Oh.
pull that main site plan out kind of on its own,
Yes.
Okay, separate sheet.
yeah, like make a whole,
24 by 36.
24 by 36, actually, we're revising.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, this page in particular just gets a little busy.
yeah. Okay, I typically, these are the full-size prints at 11 by 17. That is the format that I use.
It can be printed larger.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, could
really
you,
hard for
could
us.
you do on this next submission, could you do a larger size?
Yeah, I'd have to go back. I suppose what would happen is I would put a larger title block, but the information on the pages would remain the same scale. You just have a lot of white space around it, unless when we get to the site plan, I change the scale, from something like 130 to,
Can we just double, leave everything alone and just put it out at 2x, because it'll go on, it's 11 by 17, it'll go on a 22 by 34 sheet, just a 24 by 36 sheet, just at double scale.
Yes.
So it's like an appropriate scale.
And the trick is legibility. We have any legibility issue with it?
Yeah.
Hard to read.
Yeah,
Okay.
we never accept plans this small.
So funny how towns, this is the best you can do.
I didn't expect this project to get this big.
Yeah.
We didn't either.
So and then you're keeping the sign out front.
Yeah, the gas price sign.
You'll just kind of rebrand it to be the Sunoco colors.
Yeah, what we got is right there. They have the existing one, the bottom bar is just the one price one. And in our modification, we're gonna have two price bars. One's gonna be for gasoline and the other for diesel. And then just the bar on top. I didn't know, thinking about this, you know, we have the Cluck, Angry Cluck food franchise. I mean, other than having the sign on the building near its entrance, I'm just wondering if if we get any other, maybe we put an addition on this sign for the franchisee.
So
What's your feeling?
because you have multi-tenants, you have to do a multi-tenant sign package, which will, the signs are gonna need to be basically in the same style. Eric can send you like an example, but generally for that, when a monument sign is desired, the monument sign is for the whole like complex. So if you say like Sunoco Plaza or something like that, but you can't have individual businesses on that because it's a multi-tenant sign.
Oh, okay, so we can call this some kind of development.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't think that would be in addition to this sign you're looking at now. You can't have two.
It's all gotta be combined into one,
One
and meet the
sign.
size requirements, and the street
Yes.
number has to be on
If
it.
you look at our sign code,
Okay.
actually at the design guidelines, which are on our website under planning board. In the design guidelines, there are pictures and, you know, information, examples. of-
Yeah, I could send you all the sign stuff, Bill.
Okay, good. Okay, then I guess my next step is to get talking to the tank people and to the owner and
Yep.
see if we can rearrange the site.
Yeah, I think it's a be a good move.
And then we'll just wait until we get that revised site plan and then we'll schedule you again.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Yep.
thanks.
All right,
Thank you.
Okay, see you later.
Yep.
Bye, Bill.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That was it.
All right, we can close the public hearing,
Public meeting.
public meeting. We'll see.